I'm trying to get my thoughts together on this without offending anybody. I don't want to offend anybody. But for somebody to say they can't believe in God, it kind of just, it blows my mind, especially because you'll say, if I can't see it, I can't believe it. You didn't see Genghis Khan, but you believe that Genghis Khan was real because of evidence, right? There's evidence that Jesus really existed, and there's so much evidence that God is real. There are things that we just cannot explain, no matter how many times a scientist might rack his brain about it. There are countless testimonies of scientists getting so far into their studies that they have no other choice but to believe that God is real. Doctors, all these sophisticated and educated people all around the world have testimonies saying that, yes, Jesus is real, God is real. But when it comes to that history and those facts, well, people have doctored this and they have translated the Bible. They turned thou to the, and we said, no, we can't believe it. Can't believe it anymore. History in the United States has been doctored, and we know this, but everything we hear is fact. Nobody questions it. Nobody says anything. Nobody makes a big deal out of it. But as soon as somebody says something about God or about Jesus, well, man has written this and man has written that and man translated this and man translated that. Man has been a part of everything. Man has had their hand in everything. So now you can't believe anything? You can't believe anything to be true? Let me ask you this. Did you ask your dad for the receipts, or your mom for the receipts, or your auntie, your grandpa, your older brother, your uncle, your auntie, whomever it may be that was taking care of you? Did you ask for the receipts for when they paid rent? Or was rent and home provided? Did you ask for receipts when there was food in the refrigerator? Or was it just provided? Did you ask for receipts when they bought you new shoes and provided you your life? Or your lifestyle, sorry. Did you ask for receipts? Did you ask your mom for a DNA test after she gave birth to you, just to confirm that she really is your mother? Did you ask for a DNA test for your father, just to confirm that that's actually your father? Or are these things just provided? These things are just provided through what evidence, right? So there's evidence that Jesus is real. There's evidence that the things that were talked about in the Bible are real. There's evidence that there is a creator, because we can explain nothing. We try our best to explain things the best way we can, but we don't know anything for certain. We know for sure that you're alive and I'm alive. We know that you're this and you're that and you're we know by what we actually know. But when it comes to the moon, the stars, the wind, the air, the water, we can't do any of that. We can't fabricate none of that. All we do is make simulations of these things, and we can't create it. But the first thing we do at all times when it comes to God is question. There's nothing wrong with questioning. But don't sit here and question, and then when you get your answers, it's not good enough for you. I want you to really think about how egotistical it is for you to say, I can't believe in God because I can't see God. So God, the creator of everything, whatever you want to call it, the creator of everything, needs to come down off of his throne, prove his existence to you for you to believe in him. What does he gain from that? What does he get from you if he proves his existence to you? Because you're that important. What does he get? Because he proved his existence before and everybody sinned. So if God came down here right now today, would you stop sinning? Absolutely not. Because you can't. You're not capable of it. The only person that ever lived a life without sin was Jesus Christ. And there is evidence to prove that he was a real person, that the events actually happened. But because we don't want to, but because living by Christ and living for God doesn't suit our lifestyle, we just say we can't believe it, no matter how much evidence there is to say otherwise. If you truly tried and wanted to believe in God or believe in Jesus Christ, you would do the research, but you don't. You go based off of how you feel because it doesn't suit your lifestyle. I'm so irritated by this meaningless conversation, this thing that keeps going around where people just keep spewing out of their mouth without doing any of their own additional research. You'll say, yeah, there's facts out there saying this, but that's not facts enough for me. What? What are we talking about? What are we talking about right now? So are facts or are they not? If your opinion outweighs a fact at all times, then what is the point? You don't want to follow God, is what you need to say. You can't say, I can't follow God. You need to say, I don't want to follow God. That's what your heart is really saying. That's what your mind is really saying. I don't want to follow God. It's not that you can't. It's not that you can't do your own research. You don't want to do your own research. It's not that you can't read the Bible. It's that you don't want to read the Bible. It's not that you can't stop sinning. It's that you don't want to stop sinning. It's a very clear thing. And I'm so tired of everybody getting on here talking about, I can't just believe, I just can't believe. But you can believe anything else. Anything else other than God, you can believe it. You can believe that Genghis Khan killed almost all of the planet. You can believe that he changed the ozone layer when we weren't even recording the ozone layer back at that time. What are we talking about right now, bro? These are all estimations and guesstimations. Alexander the Great, you believe that he was a real person? Did you fucking meet him? No, you didn't meet these people, but you say, yes, I can believe it because it was said and it was recorded. Why? Where do we get these evidences from? People. And the same people said that Jesus Christ is real. Jesus Christ was a real person. These events really happened. There was evidence for it. But that evidence isn't enough for you because you don't want to believe it. Because if you have to believe that Jesus Christ is real, you have to look in the mirror and be accountable for your actions. Now you have to change your life because this is a real thing. Everything else in history promotes carnage, promotes killing, and everything else. The history of Jesus promotes you being a fucking better person. You don't want to be a better person. It's too difficult to be a better person. It's too difficult to say, you know, I don't want to do this, or I shouldn't do this, but I want to do it. And you have the discipline to say, I'm not going to do it anyways. It's sickening to me for us to sit here and keep lying to ourselves and keep lying and then finding other people that suits that ideology. If I asked you to prove to me that God isn't real, you couldn't prove it. It's impossible for you to prove it because I'm going to ask you, who created all of this? And you don't have the answer. So that leads to what? A higher being and a higher power that created all of this. We have books, we have evidence that these things align to what's in the Bible. Real testimony, real people, and real evidence. But you'll say, nah, I know that that's out there, and I know that this is this, and I know this is that, but I don't want to believe it. Then don't believe it. Nobody cares, but don't get on here and say that you can't believe it. Don't get on here and say that you can't understand it. You can understand it. You can understand it like anything else. You don't want to understand it. You don't want to believe it. It doesn't suit you right now. But there's going to come a day when something bad happens in your life, and guess who you're going to be calling on? The person that you shut out for all of your life. You're going to be knocking on that door looking for God when God's been knocking on your door and you've been closing it in his face. That's what's going to happen. Think about how egotistical it is to think that the person who created everything needs to prove their existence to you when there is enough proof for you to believe it. And now the choice is in your hand to go do the research, to go find God, but you say, no, I'm cool. Don't want to do that. That's too much work for me. He should just come knock on my door and show himself to me. Fuck out of here, dude.